Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast. Join us. Okay, Mr. Morris.
We're going to do it first?
We're doing Michael Wooding.
I haven't got him yet. He's on his way, he said.
Oh, God. Okay, so then you're going to do your car review.
Let's do the car review. Now, we're talking about the 2025 Volvo EX40 Twin Motor Ultra all-wheel drive. Now, this vehicle, the final assembly point, is in Ghent, G-H-E-N-T, Belgium, which kind of surprised me. And the reality of it is, this is new for 2025, but it's all based on the last year's XC40. So they took the XC40, they kind of rebuilt it and turned it into the EX40. Now, it's got parts, well, we're not even going into that. So it's got available trim levels. There's actually 3 trims, but you could kind of look at it 6 because there's the Core, the Plus, and the Ultra, but each one can have a single motor or a twin motor. So you can actually get 6 different variants of this vehicle. Seats 5 people. It's got a new battery, so it charges a little faster. And I read something on Edmunds that it actually charges 10% faster. So it's kind of... It's a few minutes. It was kind of weird to me that they would even talk about it being that. But anyway.
Would you like to start this car review over?
No, I'm trying to stick to the facts and not what I'm thinking. So it's got a lot of things on the outside of it. It's got pixel headlight technology, which, if you're not familiar with that, they actually have little cameras in the headlights that reads what the lighting is on the outside, cars coming at you and things like that, and it adjusts the brightness of your headlights accordingly.
Yeah.
Where there's no headlights or anything out there, it gets brighter.
Yeah, mine does that.
Does it? Mm-hmm. Well, is it called pixel technology? That's the first I'd heard of it. But anyway.
Headlights, that's what we call them.
It's got the LED fog lights. Got the power side mirrors. Got a power sunroof, power liftgate. Rolls on the optional, well, they're actually standard on the Ultra trim level, the 20-inch alloy wheels. Now, get into the interior of this thing. It's got the floor tunnel. Most EVs don't have a floor tunnel on them because it's still based on that XC40 from the previous year, so it's still got the tunnel in it, so it kind of takes up some of the feeding foot area room that you would expect to have in an EV. It's got a 12.3-inch digital driver display, got a nice 9-inch touchscreen center stack, which is very important, and we'll get to that in a moment. Got suede Microtech interior. First row is seated. They're heated and they're cool. The second row is heated. It is only a 2-row vehicle, which is a very good thing in this size of vehicle. Got the surround view camera. It's got connections with Google and Apple and all these other things. And it has a digital owner's manual I thought was rather interesting. Forget looking anything else up. Got the folding second row seat. Got a Harman Kardon premium audio system with 13 speakers, 600-watt subwoofer that is air vented, which is rather unusual. But switching back up to that 9-inch screen, that center stack, it's very important, and I'm surprised it's only that 9 inches. And I think it could be a little bit bigger to help out because everything is there. Hold that right there, Jeff.
Everybody wants it bigger.
Well, I know, but there's across the bottom, it's minimal buttons, but everything is in that touch screen. So, for example, you get into it like a lot of EVs. You put your foot on the brake, put it in gear, it starts, and off you go. Great. Love it. That's fine. But now you want to stop. You pull in your driveway and you want to get out. Now, you can put it in there, and you can sit there and say, get out. Well, it's going to still be running. Or you can go over to the touch screen, and you hit home, and you go to the control panel, and you go into the control panel. So that's 2 touches. Then you got to scroll to the bottom because it's not all on the same screen, and you touch it again the 3rd time and says, I want to turn this vehicle off. Great. You could get out of your car, but when you do, it's still on, and it's very distressing whenever you get out, and the radio is still playing as you walk away. So what you have to do, once you push the again, it says, I want to turn this vehicle off, it's going to come up and ask you, are you sure you want to turn this vehicle off?
Wow.
And you have to tell it yes.
Wow.
So you got to touch 4 times to be able to turn the vehicle off before you get out of it. I find that silly.
Yeah, very.
Whenever everybody else, you could push it 1 time and say, stop, I stopped.
Well, the new GM EVs, you don't have to do any of that. You get in with the key in your pocket, put your foot on the brake, and it starts.
I will say the other thing. The Volvo is known for their safety. They have this reputation for being a safe vehicle, and perhaps that's why they did it. Just like sometimes you jump in the car, you put it in gear, and you're gone. and you want to call somebody, but you didn't pair your phone. So normally you got to wait until you're stopped. Mm-hmm. Not in this car here. 60 miles an hour is when I did it. I'm sure you could probably do it a little faster, but you can pair your phone going down the highway at 60 miles an hour. Not that it's distracting or anything while you're driving, but you can do that in this Volvo. So you can do all these good things to kind of make your life a little bit better. So, again, twin electric motors on this vehicle that we had, 402 horsepower equivalent. Transmission is a direct drive. Basically, it's one speed. Will be rated for towing 2,000 pounds. Gross weight on this vehicle is 5,840 pounds, amazingly.
Wow.
Now, the MPG, it says it's rated for 103 in the city, 85 on the highway, combined 94. I still haven't figured out how to convert all that stuff, so I did it a different way. I drove this vehicle 270 miles. I had to charge it twice. The total cost was $33.59 to go 270 miles. Now, I took that same $33.59 and figured gasoline at $2.60 in my truck that gets 18 miles to the gallon, if not better. And I could go 232 miles versus the 270 that I went in the EV without spending 2 hours sitting at the Subaru dealer at 6 o'clock in the morning before he opens charging it. It's pretty easy to get into, and again, you can get in it and go as you need to. Turning it off is not so much. It rides and drives. It's heavy enough that it's absolutely going to ride and drive better. There's no engine noise. Got a little bit of road noise on it, but I mean, it's not anything that's not unacceptable. Turn that Harman Kardon stereo up and you override that. As to the cost of it, now the base trim price on this vehicle would be $53,795. Now, the base model price is $62,045, and we had the base Ultra, I guess you would call it. The $62,045 was the MSRP as tested. Mercedes-Benz equivalent is an EQB, which used to be a GLB, for $53,050. Audi QE Tron for $49,800, and the Genesis GV60 at $52,350. So it's in the same price as all these other guys, but again, you need to kind of be prepared to deal with the controls and the infotainment system that I think is a little too much needy.
Too much involvement.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Absolutely too much involvement. But otherwise, if you're looking for something like that, you might look at it. Otherwise, it's a nice looking car.
Well, I've got it. Okay.
Ready? There you
I got it.
Okay,
Do
so
I have to change this picture?
you don't have to. Yes, you do.
But not yet. I want to see that girl there.
Days of the Shag and Wagon, a look back at the 1970s custom vans. The streets of the 70s were littered with a variety of vehicles.
Littered.
Badass muscle cars, massive gas-guzzling land yachts your parents drove, the new economy cars to handle the gas crisis, motorcycles, always ridden without helmets, and, of course, vans. There were no minivans in the 70s, Mike. This was a time before van had been tamed, before it had been neutered to a soccer mom machine of today.
Did you write that?
No.
That was really good.
I know,
Yeah,
it was. I had
great.
to throw it in there. I'll give credit to somebody else.
I don't like to use the word neutered, but
In
go
the
ahead.
1970s, vans didn't carry spoiled kids drinking juice boxes and watching SpongeBob. Quite the contrary. Vans were basically a bedroom on wheels, Don. No SpongeBob, no juice boxes, no trips to organized sporting events in the suburbs. Just a lot of sex and recreational drug use. They might say the 70s full-size van was the crazy uncle of the modern minivan. The uncle lived in a dangerous situation in the 70s and then flamed out a decade later. In the 70s, many van owners took their shag and wagon seriously and tricked them out to the limit. Big, shiny side pipes with mellow sounds, plush interior carpet for the maximum results, dual amps and the horsepower, and perhaps most importantly, the artwork on the side. The vans of the 70s were decorated with airbrushed psychedelic wizards, doobie smoking dragons, naked slave girls, flaming unicorns. The trippier, the better. This was not your mom's minivan. This was a place where bad things happened, and the designs were a warning sign. Get into the back of a van with an airbrushed Grim Reaper in a land of mushrooms and naked fairies, you know what you're getting into.
Naked fairies.
Yeah. Your clothes are distinctive too. Your lifestyle was different, so why should your means of transportation be any different? It was a sexual revolution. A vehicle designed to accommodate massive amounts of shagging and drugs just made sense. Songs like Me and You and a Dog Named Boo declared generation passion to spread their wings on the open road, untethered by responsibility. The only downside to thick shag carpeting, Don, was that your roaches tended to get lost in the fibers. Nowadays, a van labeled Magic Mushroom wouldn't make it down about a mile without being stopped, searched, impounded, and the driver imprisoned. Of course, I don't want to paint a completely one-dimensional picture of the 70s. They weren't all used for sex and drugs. In fact, before the days of seatbelts requirements, the great family trips, enjoying the splendor of a spacious legroom, the CB radio, kids playing Rock'em Sock'em robots in the back. Life was good in the 70s, even for a kid. Like a boat, vans of the 70s often had their own name branded on the side. Note of the name Pot of Gold isn't referring to what you might think it's referring to. Think Acapulco Gold or Lumbo Gold, also known as Colombian Gold. Well, it's been fun traveling down memory lane. Custom vans, it's time to put your paraphernalia down and, what? Keep on trucking.
Yay!
Jazz hands.
That was worth the wait.
Was it?
That was worth
Okay.
the wait.
Back.
Next dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. Apple or Android, In Wheel Time podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and jonesing for a different kind of car talk show, give In Wheel Time a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture and Mike's Driving Destinations, all on In Wheel Time. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon, through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, and we know you love lists.
All right. Time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander. Now, the difference between the Grand Highlander and the Highlander, 6 inches of length at the back end of it that allows for a third row. Final assembly location, Princeton, Indiana. So it's built in the US of A. Available trim levels, the LE, the XLE, the Limited, the Nightshade, the Max Limited, and the Max Platinum. I had the Max Shade Hybrid. Standard SUV, seats including the driver, 7. Exterior changes from last model year. It was all new in 2024. Best front fascia award for Toyota. Looks really good. Subtle sheet metal creases create a conservative look to it. Rear hatch design allows for more interior room, yet still very attractive. Love the fake dual exhaust tips for a 4-banger engine.
Yeah.
What I liked, one of the best looking SUVs on the market, bar none. What could use improvement? Nothing. Interior highlights, one pod for the instruments and one separate infotainment screen for accessories. Center console has a sliding door for the cover of the storage area, which is a good thing. You don't have to open it up to the left or the right or in the back or none of that stuff. Cool. Yeah, that was good. Seating is comfortable. Consider captain's chairs in the second row if you're interested in buying one. I think that would probably be a good thing unless you actually need the extra seat. Third row actually has room for adults thanks to that 6-inch increase in length of the overall vehicle.
I was in that car, and yes, it does. It is roomy. I made the comment when I was back there that, hey, you could actually fit back here.
I really like it.
Yeah.
More room in the third row when the third row is up than most as far as cargo space is concerned. But I liked high marks for a well thought out interior. What could use improvement? Upscale models could use a bit more bling. The $1,350 glass roof option is for northern states only, unless you want to cook.
Fry.
Cell phone charger allows the phone to slide off of its charger pad.
Oh, man.
That was a little bit of an issue. 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine in the hybrid. It also has a max option for more power, but then you use the fuel mileage. And that's what this is all about. It's a hybrid. Horsepower, 245 is what I had. The max has 362 horsepower. If you need all of that, okay, go for it. But I like the mileage. As a CVT transmission, now the max has an actual 6-speed transmission. Tow rating, 3,500 pounds, all-wheel drive. It's rated at 36 miles per gallon on the highway, 36 city, 32 highway for a combined of 34. I got 29.7 miles per gallon over 475 miles. What I liked about it, clearly, the mileage. What could use improvement? Nothing. Just get the base engine in it. I think that you'll really be impressed. Ride and handling, the smoothness. It rides like a big car. It's not stiff. It is not trying to pretend to be something else. It will go off-road. But let me ask you something. Percentage-wise, how many SUVs actually go off-road?
Not many.
My guess is less than 1 or 2%.
Yeah, not many.
That's not what you buy them for. Yeah. They're like a big station wagon.
Dirt road is furthest I go.
Really? Gravel, snow, maybe.
Yeah, that. What could use improvement? Nothing that I can think of. Like I said here, who takes an SUV off-road these days? Base trim price, $52,610. Prices tested, $58,187. Base model price, $44,210.
That's not
Don't add too much to it. Why? Yeah. Why junk it all up with all the options when you can't? That's an $8,000 savings.
Yeah, and your tendency for more stuff to break.
Competitors to this vehicle, the Mazda CX-90 hybrid plug-in. They don't have a pure hybrid, but it's a plug-in, $49,995. Hyundai Santa Fe hybrid, $37,800. Kia Sorento hybrid, $38,690. Next week, going to review the 2025 Mazda Miata MX-5.
Beautiful.
Mr. Mars has put together something special for all of us.
Something special.
Because I bet everybody has their own story about one of the 5 worst cars ever made. I don't know why you just narrowed it down to 5.
Well, because of time. I just figured time because it's so subjective as to what's good, what's bad, and what's the worst and what's the best. So this is just 5 of the ones that you can put a little data behind to say that this is one of the worst vehicles. And for example, one that comes to mind real quick and easy is the Ford Pinto. It was manufactured from 1971 to 1980.
It was a very popular car, and they sold a bajillion of them.
They really did. They sold In fact, the first year they sold 220,000.
Is that rust?
And
on
then
that?
they recalled every one of them.
Well,
Well, I think they used to call them exploders. I think
They did. But before that, they had the gas fumes got into the cab or the passenger compartment, and that was the reason they had to recall all of them. But it came in 3 models, and it blew up a lot, and it was
only if you hit it.
True. And had a lot of recalls, and it was a big problem for Ford, so they quit manufacturing that.
There's mine.
The Vega, the Chevy
Ladies
Vega.
and gentlemen, I had 2 of them.
Did you?
I did. I had a 72, and then I went all into a 74.
You know, I really always liked the way those look like a baby Camaro or something.
Yeah.
And, they never did really come with a lot of big power or anything. It was just kind of stylish, but they had a tendency to break down a lot. They had overheating problems.
Yep.
The aluminum engine was part of the problem. It just would get too hot.
Didn't they have a Copo version of that?
They had a Cosworth version.
Cosworth, okay.
It was a little bit of a hot rod.
Yep.
They sold over 2 million of these vehicles, and most of them
I was one of the
made it there.
morons that bought them, but I never had a problem with mine.
Yeah, they made great. I mean, I thought they was really cool, the ones that did the V8 conversion, and particularly the little wagon. It just looked really cool. But another one that was out there that really didn't do so well was the AMC Gremlin. Had a kind of a quirky design to it, kind of boxy. But it also had reliability issues, and it didn't really run very fast. It didn't even sell very good. It was made from 1970 to 1978. They only sold 671,000 of those vehicles total. So it just, it just didn't turn out to be very popular, although they make some pretty good hot rods right now.
Yeah, they do.
Then, the one your favorite probably, Don, is the Corvair.
Oh, God. Not the first model.
No, not the first model. I mean, they were built from 1960 to 1969. So the first ones came out with a flat 6 at 80 horsepower. It was under $2,400 to buy this
Holding
thing.
it back.
And but
that was to compete with the Volkswagen Beetle.
Absolutely. And of course, they sold 1.8 million of them during that whole time. But really, what really hurt it was the Ralph Nader's book, Unsafe at Any Speed, where he went into why it would lose control, the rear engine, the swing axle. A lot of these things that, even though they fixed some of them, the car just kind of faded away. Mm-hmm. And then whenever you get down to this one, I think this one really died because it was just so ugly. The Pontiac Aztek,
God.
built from 2001 to 2005. It was actually the first midsize SUV CUV that came to market. It had a V6 with a 4-speed automatic, and they marketed it as a sport recreational vehicle. And some of the advertisements had tents and had places you could put your bikes and your canoes and snowboards. It even had a 2-piece tailgate that had cup holders on it for tailgating. Part of that whole get it, the family, and get out and get busy type thing. And basically, though, it was just plain ugly. And there's some more out there, but I thought that was a good place to start.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, please do. Shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. And be sure to follow us on Facebook. Back after these brief messages. Well, guess what?
What?
Mr. Mars has driven probably one of the... Yes? Were you calling somebody?
No, yes.
Please, hallelujah.
Mr. Mars had a chance to drive one of the most popular SUVs in the world. That would be the Chevy Tahoe. And he is now to talk to you about that.
And it is the 2026 Chevrolet Tahoe. I haven't driven one in a couple of years, so I was really happy to see that I was going to get this. It's assembled in Arlington, Texas. So this is a Texas vehicle, very close to home. And it comes in 6 different trim levels: LS, LT, RST, E71, which is obviously this off-road suspension. You got the Premier, and then the High Country, the luxury. So we were driving the Premier, the 4-wheel drive trim level. Now, this is considered by the government as a standard SUV. That we used to call them full-size SUV, but I guess that means it's standard now, full size. I had the polar white tri-coat option. I love black and white cars. I love
That
that
would be
color
the police
combination.
version. kind of.
Yes,
Yeah.
almost, except
Wow.
it had the white hood instead of the black hood. Of course, it had LED lighting all the way around on the exterior, including the fog lights, daytime running lights, had the heated folding side mirrors, all the things you would expect off of a high-end SUV. Power liftgate with power panoramic sunroof, power assist side steps with perimeter lighting. So whenever they would come on and it would start going back and forth, they would light up the ground so you could see it. 22-inch polished aluminum wheels were also an option that we had. Now, it did have the seating for 7 front and second row bucket seats, both of which were heated on this particular vehicle. Had a 17-inch infotainment screen up front. Now, this was not the vertical type of screen like some of the cars have. This was more of a horizontal screen, and I like it much better than the vertical because it just seemed I could find things a little bit easier looking across instead of trying to search up and down. 15-inch heads-up display that was really good at seeing how things were going. And the rear seat had the media system. Now, this is the 12.6-inch touch screens that are on the back of the front seats. Now, I don't particularly care for the way they did that. To me, it's kind of like an add-on. It's like it's hanging there. I like it much better when they build it in. But it worked well. Everybody seemed to be happy with that. Now, to make this thing go, because this thing is a little bit on the heavy side, 5,700 pounds, we had the 6.2-liter V8. Now, this is a $2,400 option on it. The standard engine is a 5-point-liter, and I'm thinking that that's probably a very adequate engine. But the 6.2-liter has 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque. And putting that with the 10-speed automatic, it is rated to tow 8,200 pounds, which is a pretty good-sized load. You can see them pulling big boats and things. Now, the miles per gallon, the EPA says you should be looking for about 14 on the highway, 14 in the city, 18 on the highway, and with a combination of 16. Now, the week I had it, I drove it 267.8 miles, and I got 16.8 on as an overall average for that time. And I was real happy with that because I really liked driving this vehicle. It's got plenty of power to spare, particularly if you're thinking about towing something. It's going to give you plenty of juice for that to get to that 8,400 pounds. So I also like driving it. It was very quiet. I thought it had very responsive steering in that it's not a race car, but you get into around town where you're maneuvering around the streets or through a parking lot.
Tight.
I thought it worked really well for that size of vehicle. I was really impressed with it. And it's also got a lot of glass. So you got a real nice field of view whenever you're looking around to see what's around you.
The pillars don't get in the way. The A's
No, it was really nice. I also like the magnetic ride control. I mean, that was some nice stuff there.
Absolutely.
Now, cost. Now, the base model price, the LS base model price, $62,995. That's what it'll take to get into a Tahoe. Now, the base trim price for the Premier that we had was
Here we go.
$78,000, which I thought that was pretty good. But we had an option or two.
You did.
Our MSRP as tested was $92,000.
Oh my God.
So we had some options, like I say, the paint, the wheels, and lots of other things.
The only option that it didn't have is the Cadillac option. That would have been $192,000.
Yeah. You got that.
We call it an Escalade.
If you're looking for something to compare this to, I mean, you could look across at the Ford Expedition, up about the same size, $64,995 to get started. Nissan Armada, $58,800. Toyota Sequoia, which is strictly all you're going to get there is a hybrid. You're not going to get a straight gasoline engine, but it's $64,000. Now, the GMC Yukon is the sister vehicle to the Tahoe, or the cousin, whatever you want to call it. And it'll start at about $69,000. But I've always thought the GMC is, it used to be the working man's truck.
Mm-hmm.
But
GMC,
yeah.
GMC now is
it's the luxury,
the Chevy and the Cadillac.
Yeah. It's got a lot nicer. So its base price. That makes sense that it starts a little bit more. But I really enjoyed this vehicle. I thought it would do a lot of things, and I don't know what all I would do to improve it. And that's my review of the 2026 Chevrolet Tahoe Premier four-wheel drive.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Hey, if you'd like to get it.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Real Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InRealTime.com, YouTube, Facebook, and podcasts available from your favorite go-to source, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Real Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including driving destinations, Jeff's car culture, latest car news, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's all on InRealTime.